Hey everyone, welcome to that show where bakers come onto the show and try their best at making a baked good. I'm your host, Strange Buyer, and today we're going to be going ahead and making a cake out of chocolate. Now it's not your typical kind of chocolate. You see, chocolate actually derives from the cocoa bean, or as some people like to say, cacao bean, based on where your linguistic lie in this world. But regardless, we go ahead and use the dry powder of a cacao bean to pull the impurities from said bean in order to create a very delicious bean cake, is essentially what this is, if you think about it. It really makes you think. Now today, I, your host, will be making a chocolate cake. And you'll need the following ingredients. You'll need some flour, sugar, 100% cacao powder, or cocoa powder if you like to pronounce it that way, baking powder, baking soda, salt, espresso powder, which we won't have today, but if you do, you'll need a teaspoon of that, and that adds a nice richness to your cake, not coffee flavor, so very good. I'm missing out on it, Carl. Told you to buy it. And vanilla, 2 eggs, and some milk and water. Hopefully you have all of those. Pretty basic stuff if you're someone who cooks. And if not, you can just go to the store and buy your own chocolate cake. But you're not one of those people, right? That's why you're watching this show. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to get all your dry ingredients in the bowl. So let's go ahead and do that. So after you get your dry ingredients into your bowl, you want to go ahead and start whisking away and break up any clumps and make sure it's all completely sifted through. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So you just want to go ahead and whisk away like you wish away all your whisks away. And you go whisk, 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 whisk. That was a really bad movie. So yeah, so what's gonna happen is the air you're infiltrating into the dry ingredients starts aerating it. It starts flying into the air, so make sure you have that in some type of gas mask. You don't be inhaling this kind of stuff. Yeah, you'll be ingesting it soon, but not in this form. This ain't Coke, it's cocoa. So when you're mixing in your liquids to the dry ingredients, you can go ahead and put that all at once. No need to do it step-by-step process. So the eggs, the canola oil, the milk, the vanilla, the only thing you really have to wait for is the boiling water, actually. So just put them all in and let it rip, like Beyblades. Not a trick, well, it is a trick. What the heck? So after you mix for a while and you get a nice rich chocolate texture, I'm gonna go ahead and get 1 cup of boiling water, use your special gloves, and slowly pour it in bit by bit until it's all in and well mixed.
Liquid, 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 liquid.
So you want to go ahead and have 2 pans. This is a kind of recipe that we're going to be making 2 cakes and creating a layer of frosting in between and around. So look forward to that. And I have 2 kinds of pans today. I have the one that you can just clasp open and off. Recommendation for that, instead of greasing it, just use good old parchment paper. And a key tip is that you only want to cover the bottom whenever using parchment paper for cakes. And you don't want to crumble it up, you just want to cut it out nicely or just mold it over nicely so that there aren't any cracks or creases that the cake mix can mix in. And because the reason is, once it bakes and you try to pull it out, the cake that's in those cracks and creases, they're gonna make the cake fall apart when you're pulling it out. So make sure you have parchment paper for your pans. If you do use it, only for the bottom. You want the sides to be parchment free. You can grease it a little bit, maybe a little bit of flour or pan, but you definitely only want parchment paper on the bottom. Cut it out in a circle or something like that, because it's really what you want. Now, with your oven set at 350 degrees, and I'm gonna go ahead and use both parchment paper and this pan with just a little good old pan. Get it around the edges. Yeah, that looks good. Woo. So after you go ahead and throw in your cakes into the oven, it's time to work on the frosting. So while you're waiting those 35 minutes, you want to go ahead and throw in 1 cup of cocoa powder, just the same one you used before, into your mixing bowl. And again, you want to whisk that up so you don't get any thick clumps, and it's much more of a finer dry ingredient, right? In the meantime, you want to go ahead and get 3 sticks, 1.5 cup of butter softened, not melted, softened. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that by throwing it into the microwave. Go ahead and mix in your softened butter with the cocoa powder into your mixing bowl until they're fully not like that. ¿Por qué me hizo eso la porquería? Literalmente, ¿por qué me hizo eso? Actually. So now that you got your good old cocoa butter, you know, the cocoa powder and butter mixed, and cleaned up that awful mess, you want to go ahead and use 5 cups of confectioner's or powdered sugar and 1/2 cup of milk. But we're going to incorporate that step by step this time. You see, for every 1 cup of powdered sugar, we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of milk, and then we're going to let it mix. And we're going to repeat that process until we've used up all those ingredients. There you have it. Homemade chocolate frosting just ready for your cake. So basically, you just want to resist the temptation to just eat all your frosting with a spoon. Oh my gosh. Fun part is I didn't even put in the vanilla or the espresso powder, which is 2 teaspoons of vanilla and I believe 1/2 teaspoon of espresso powder. So you're more than welcome to throw that in. I think it's great that way. I'm a chocolate lover, right? Oh boy. But yeah, so in the meantime, if you think it's too thick or too watery, you can always add a tablespoon of more powdered sugar or a tablespoon of more milk to either loosen it up or to thicken it and make it the right consistency that you're looking for. But I think this is perfect. No vanilla, no espresso powder, and once the cake's cool for around 10 minutes or more, go ahead and start crafting them together. I'll see you on the other side.
That hurt.
I just hit your face. I thought I hit the camera. So the cakes are done, but you always want to do the good old-fashioned wood skewer test or the toothpick test. And all you want to do is, careful with your heat protective gloves, slide these out, and with a wooden toothpick, stick it into the center and pull it out. It's not clean, not terribly dirty though, so a little bit more and it's ready. And how about this big boy? This one's about ready actually. Let me check another area just to make sure. Yeah, this one's coming out clean no matter where I go. Stick it. Woo. Oh, I just burnt myself. Yeah, I think this one's good to go. So I'll leave this one in for like 2 minutes more. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one out. After you pull them out, you just want to let them cool for a good old 10 minutes. So let's get on that. So here's our beautiful cake. the one in the clasp on case. Now, here's a secret. This is my first time opening one of these. So let's see how well the parchment paper worked and if we have a disaster in our hands. So you want to unhook, slide it off, and gently lift up, and wow, that's a beauty. As you see, it's a bit uneven on the top. We're going to stack these cakes. This is going to be our base cake. So I'm just going to go ahead and shave off a little bit of the cake on the top. So we get nice and flat. Alright, cool. Let's get a plate for this. Can I get a plate, someone? Please? Anyone? Man, I know you're holding the camera, but do we even have any other staff or crew? Oh wait, here, magic plate. Thank you. Alright, we're just gonna slide this onto here. Oh, that looks delicious. Oh, you can make like cake pops out of this excess cake right here. Make your own miniature sculpture. Oh, cake pop sounds good. Ooh, cake pop with this buttercream. Oh, I'm getting too many ideas right now. But let's set that aside. And now that we have our well-rounded cake, it's gonna be for me. It's good. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up the cake. And as you see, it's coming up quite nicely from the parchment paper. I'm gonna go ahead and slowly just lift it from the parchment paper. Slowly pry it off. Beautiful. Put it into the center. And now we await our second cake. So after you trimmed your cake off nicely, we're gonna go ahead and create the foundation of buttercream on it with your fabulous chocolate buttercream. Just go ahead and make a nice layer of it. And you don't wanna go too far, too extreme. You just want a nice thin layer. So I'll just put in a glop of buttercream on here. And then with a knife preferably actually, I'll go ahead and smooth it out.
This is gonna go on your nail it. It has to.
Ta-da! It's perfect! We got the other cake on top. I'm not gonna show you how because it was way too much trouble and effort and it totally did not crack apart. So after you stacked your cake on top of the other cake with the layer of buttercream frosting, which has now disappeared, you want to go in and just coat surrounding areas with frosting. Just make it look as nice as possible. This is the part where it's going to look most like nailed it. Nailed it! I mean, I don't know what I was trying to nail, honestly, but it is tasty, so it's something. Now, of course, you can put toppings on top of your cake, from sliced almonds to berries to a chocolate drizzle or even chocolate chips. The choice is yours. You have free will. You're able to do whatever it is you want to do. Do almonds. Just trust me.
That's forceful.
Listen. It doesn't mean just because I have free will, I can't be persuasive. I have the free will to be persuasive, Carl. Alright? So, don't tell me what to do. Because I have my own free will. Alright? I'm going to throw this napkin at you again. Whoa, that missed completely. But here, I got another one. right for the camera. Oh yeah, nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. The end. Top off your cake. Good to go.
Liquid!